So this next list is what Crokies was running the other day. It's an interesting sort of Temur mid-rangey deck. It's a style of mid-range that we haven't really seen much of in Standard for a little while. Some interesting card choices. So it's got, obviously Goldspan Dragon, which is the best card in the format. It's also got some ramp engines with Prosperous Innkeeper, and well, actually, that's more or less it. There's not a whole lot of ramp involved, other than the actual treasures that are created from Magma Opus itself. So that's interesting. It's got removal to get you to the late game to use the treasures that are eventually generated by the Goldspan Dragon. It's got a Seeker's Chariot with just a house of a card. It's more or less just team or good stuff. One thing that did jump out at me when I was looking at the list was the two main deck copies of Negate. Whenever you see Negate in the main deck, and especially in Best of One, you're really making a statement about the format. You really need that card to never be dead, especially in Best of One. And I think Crokies was right that it probably is never dead, especially with so many decks in the format leaning on the learn mechanic. Even the aggro decks are still learning their environmental sciences from the board. They're learning their mascot exhibitions from the board. So at the very minimum, you have that available for that. But it's also outstanding against the control decks of the format too. What you don't want is to play your Chariot, your Goldspan Dragon, and then get immediately Blood on this node. And if you have the Goldspan Dragon in play and you've created a treasure, then you don't live in fear of the wrath as long as you have a Negate in hand. So I think this list is pretty cool. It's mostly like it's just an incoherent mess, except that it's a good just a deck full of good cards. Let's see how it goes. Got some hex string. I don't know what that is. That probably means something in like in ASCII. Okay, so I mean we have our colors. The lands are definitely a little awkward, but I'll keep this. It's Best of One. We're on the play, which is like the most important thing. Are we supposed to play the temple now? I feel like we are. We have red, we have green. This is supposed to name blue, I feel. Okay, so Snow-Covered Forest or Spare Sentinel in this format probably means mono green or Gruul. There's not really much to do here besides play the Prosperous Innkeeper, which we will do. Okay, so it is Gruul. And they do have the Sentinel Magda. So, the Shadow Skill Smashing, I would actually be tempted to not play it as a land at all, with all these low toughness creatures. I think I do want to try to slow roll this. I think I'm going to play the Temple on red and try to use this as a removal spell later. But at the same time, like, that Magda is going to be such a problem. Bouncing the Sentinel doesn't do anything. Wow, this is actually pretty tricky. We could just slam the Chariot, which is probably our best bet. Just do our own powerful stuff and hope that it's enough. Okay, I think I like that. But like this hand is pretty nutty from them. So if they have the dragon... Oh, I didn't mean that dragon, but that's pretty bad too. So we're gonna get domed for 6. All is not lost. We do have Divide by Zero available. Also find Shadow Skull Smashing, which is pretty good. I think the plan here is to Divide by Zero the Inferno. Well, they're never going to be able to replay it, right? This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, they could replay it. If they have land, then they'll be able to replay it. So we should divide by 0 this during their combat step. I'm gonna play this on red, right? Yeah. Yeah, because we'll learn the environmental sciences with the divide by 0, I think. And having this on red now at least enables the Shadow Skull smashing. And because they want to tap these for mana, I think I'm just going to attack with the Chariot. They jump. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll bounce this during combat. Like, they don't want to tap the, That's really frustrating, actually. So there goes, is there a creature in the graveyard? Yeah, there is. That's why they did it. We can divide by 0 our own Chariot to protect it. I don't think so. I think we just let the Chariot go. I think our cards are more powerful than theirs. So the longer we can extend the game, the better. Orb of Dragonkind. I've never been impressed by that card. I guess there's no reason not to let them attack first, see if they use this mana to pump the Inferno. Okay. So we can get Containment Breach if we're really scared to bounce the orb, but I think we just want to make sure we hit our land drops. I'll get Environmental Sciences. Okay. So we'll do this, we'll fetch. I guess we only have the one green source, right? We just drew our second blue. So let's get a forest. We'll play this on blue. And we'll hold up Divide by 0 to deal with the Inferno again. Yeah, I think so. Inferno again. Okay. Same deal. We'll give them the opportunity to pump their mana into the Inferno. I am inclined to double block this Vandal, though. That seems like a good trade for us. Actually, am I? Yeah. Okay. Not falling for it again. Now what? Mascot Exhibition after Auburnd's Epiphany seems really, really good. Yeah, okay. Shocks in for Realm Walker, naming Dragon. Okay. So 6 mana is a little bit awkward. I think we're just going to kill Magda and the Realm Walker. They're going to play the Inferno, and we're going to be sad. But we are going to be able to untap and then Allward's Epiphany and Mascot Exhibition. So let's do that. Okay. Let's see what happens here. They're probably going to attack, I would think. This has been bounced so many times that I don't think they can resist. They must attack. Dragon's Fire with no dragons. See if they're willing to block. They're not. That makes sense. Okay. Isn't great. We still haven't found a dragon yet. We're going to attack with everything but the innkeeper. And let's see what they can do. That's pretty good. That's pretty good too, realistically. Okay. We have no real way to gain life. We're attacking for 3 in the air. They'll probably use the Inferno to crew the chariot, I would think, for blocks. So there's no real sense attacking on the ground. Maybe we're supposed to attack with the 4/4, but we certainly attack like this and it's lethal next turn. If they draw a dragon to block us in the air, that could be a problem. They're attacking for how much on the ground? 4, 8, 9. We are dead to a top-decked Inferno? No, we're not, because they don't have the mana for that. I think I'm down to attack with the 4/4. What if we attack with, like, this? They block here, here, here. They lose these 2 tokens, the chariot eats the 3/3, and we get in for... I think I like this, honestly. And we can block with the innkeeper on the crackback. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, like, blocking this 4/4 with the chariot is almost forced. Realmwalker does buy them another turn. They are dead to removal. And there's removal. They didn't even wait to see it. That's great. Oh no, they were dead anyway. They were dead to the 1/1 and the 1/1 on the ground. So I wasn't strictly wrong. They were dead to removal, but they were also dead to not removal. All right, 1-0. Yeah. It's really hard to say no to a hand that has expressive iteration in it. I'll keep this. Jesus, Clicks, you're still going. Another 10 gifted subs. Wow, thank you. Pretty soon you're just going to be gifting them to random Twitch people. So we're up against Mono Black Control, which feels like a pretty tough matchup. We don't interact with them super well. Looks like they don't have the Deadly Dispute. I don't think we're making that trade in a million years. I mean, it's not the sexiest play in the world, but are we just supposed to play Shadow Skull Smashing tapped and, like, foretell Epiphany? They could have, like... Do they have Deadly Dispute? No, it doesn't look like it. Honestly, I think it is. I think it's Shadow Skull Smashing tapped and foretell Epiphany. I'm on a roll. Oh, you mean with respect to the games? Yeah, the games are going well. Um, I did off stream spew a lot of rank testing random janky decks, which probably did not help my MMR. So I'm probably not up against like the best competition in the world. So this is 5 mana. I think we're gonna iteration here. Hope to hit land. What are they holding up for 4 mana here? They can't activate the Faceless Haven. I mean, they can, but they can't block with it. They don't have enough snow. Yeah, I'll attack. We would love to find, like, untapped red here. I don't think that there are many untapped red sources in the deck. They have something now. What do you have? Oh, there's untapped red. So I guess divide by 0 goes to hand. Both of these are untapped red. I don't think it matters too much. I guess in the future I would rather draw this than this. So we'll put this in the library, we'll put this to exile, and we'll play it on red. And it's your go. Thanks, Clicks. Appreciate it. See you soon. Have a good night. Activate Faceless Haven. Okay. So we should do this before allowing them to attack. Just in general. I had a mini heart attack there where I thought maybe Dragon's Fire did 3 damage to a non-dragon creature, and this is a dragon. They held back the Shambling Gas that time. That's interesting. We can Allrun's Epiphany here. But I think I would rather just pump the brakes and go a little slower. Foretell this. Hold up Divide by 0 and Prismari Command, which will hopefully allow us to Epiphany, and then Magma Opus the face for the pièce de résistance. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Like, these should be game-winning, plus the Magma Opus. And we can ramp a little bit with the Prismari Command here as well, although I don't particularly want to kill the Shambling Ghast. Spirit of the Alderguard, huh? I mean, that's just so expensive, right? Is there anything really here to be lost by dividing it by 0? I don't think so. I think I like Divide by 0 here, fetch Environmental Sciences to make sure that we get to the play that I was talking about earlier, which was Epiphany Opus. Okay, it's probably about time to get another green. And once again, we have the Prismari Command available. Also have the Dragon's Fire if they decide to power up one of these creature lands. But this is just, yeah, this is not pretty. Yeah, that resolves this time, unfortunately. Nothing I can do about that. I twitch. Okay. I think I will kill the Eye Twitch. As much as I hate having them learn, I want the blocker out of the air. There's also the option of Magma Opus on their end step. So they have 6 mana next turn. They could cast a Mascot Exhibition, which would be irritating. Alright. Well, let's do this. We've waited long enough, I think. Do I want the Prosperous Innkeeper in play? Probably. It just gains more life. It replaces the treasure that we spend on it. Probably should have. I should have sequenced it the other way. I missed an extra 2 points of life there. Attacks. Play this. I don't even know on what, honestly. Blue. Oh boy. Yeah. I wish you luck, opponent. Wow! Wow! I did not expect that. Okay. Wow, I did not expect Culling Ritual. That's brutal. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not over. I mean, our hand is still full of really powerful stuff. Like that. I mean... Okay. Let's start with Expressive Iteration. Negate seems really good. I think I want to exile the Iteration, right? Yeah, so we'll put back the land. Cast a second Iteration. Play the dragon. Back with the dragon. See if they jump. Also, like, realistically, we can just hold negate here. Yeah, we hold negate here. I hate letting the, I shouldn't have kept the Expressive Iteration if I was going to do that. I should have kept the land instead. But, like, we're so far ahead. So we can power up the hall. We get in for 11. think we just attack with the dragon. And I'm gonna play this tapped. And we'll play the... I don't think there's any reason to play the Opus on their upkeep this time. If they want to power up their creature lands, then so much the better. Yeah, and if we played it on their upkeep, then they never would have attacked this 4/4, so our position's pretty strong here. If we cast this Magma Opus, they need to deal with it, and the 4/4 that it creates. And they need to be able to deal with this land that also has Ward 4, or Ward 3, excuse me. Binding the Old Gods is acceptable. And there's Lolth. Okay.
Envy the strong, for they consume the weak.
So Dragon's Fire can finish off Lolth.
My power is for annihilation.
Let's go upstairs. Oh wait, we can just kill these two as well. I don't think it matters what we tap. Oh, actually. Yeah, they're just dead, right? Because we can go upstairs for 4. Tap these two. And we win. Cool. So that's 2-0, I'm pretty sure. 2 or 3. Haven't lost its deck yet. That felt like probably one of our worst matchups, too. Although I don't feel like the opponent played it super well. Yeah, okay. Okay. German sleeves. In chess, German means aggro, usually. So I wonder if it's the same in Magic. Just gonna play the island to try to defer the decisions on these pathways. I'm not sure that's right. Swarmsham, there's a mono green. The River God pathway makes me happier to play this on green. We can save the temple for later. Blocks. They attack with the Swarm Sandville, which means they're going to use both their mana. Yep, so there's the Ranger class. We could have held up Epiphany to deal with that. But, you know. Alright. We just say go here. Hopefully they play something negatable. Yeah, that makes sense. Where do they put the counter? Should probably put it on the 2/2. So that way if I target it with anything, they get a token. They choose not to do that. They want to distribute the damage. Okay. I still hold hope that one day I'll cast this Magma Opus, so... And this Prosperous Innkeeper will block a bigger creature later in the game, so I think this is fine. Ooh, Dragon's Fire is not bad either. So we're going to play this, revealing Goldspan Dragon. It's going to make red. We're going to cast Goldspan Dragon. We're going to attack with Goldspan Dragon. And we're going to hold up some mana. We're going to either negate or we're going to Dragon's Fire. on their turn. So they could have a fight spell. I don't think they can have a fight spell that's good enough to deal with the Goldspan Dragon. That also gives us another treasure, which we'll use to cast the second Goldspan Dragon. So, choose Dragon I control. We'll target that. So we're letting the negate shields down. But, I still feel really good about this. And the untapped land is exactly what we want to see, because now we get to double Goldspan Dragon. And this is going to get ugly in a hurry for the opponent. Man, I wish LK was here. He'd love to see these dragons going off. So the only thing that we're really scared of here is a fight spell, which we can negate. And otherwise, we're going to attack with... We have lethal in the air. But even if we didn't, we also have the ability to Magma Opus their face next turn. And we win. Cool. That's pretty good. So that's 3-0, I think, with Temur Midrange. Void. Alright. This hand is slow. But we are on the play, we have Expressive Iteration. I'm gonna keep it. We don't have a dragon. I think I'm gonna take the opportunity to... Am I? To play the Temple here. If I play the Temple, it basically has to be on red, so that I have the ability to cast Iteration on 3 if that's what I want to do. And I don't really want to play double green. So maybe we're just hoping to hold this until we get a dragon in our hand. Alright, I'm going to play the ball first. This could bite me. Like, this could be a tap land later when I really need it not to be. And hopefully we get to negate like a Ranger class here. Neverwinter Dryad I think means Simic Ramp, so the negate is probably good. Okay, they say go. That's interesting, they didn't even attack with it. Are we holding up the gate, or are we holding up Divide by 0? I think because we have Divide by 0, that means we don't have to hold up the gate, but at the same time, Iteration gets better the longer the game goes. Iteration helps find us the dragon to make the temple come in untapped. Nah, next turn we can Iteration and hold up negate. So we'll just divide whatever they do by 0 this turn. With the intention of next turn Expressive Iteration holding up the gate. Like, they're obviously some sort of ramp deck. We don't know quite what they're ramping into yet, but it seems likely they're going to have some big non-creature spell. Coma's likely as well. But we don't see blue yet either. Coma's probably a tough one for us to beat, realistically. Another Neverwinter Dryad. They found their blue. I don't really want to divide a 1-mana spell. Yeah, I mean, that sucks. That is a punish. I think, like, their obvious plan is to ramp into Coma. I want the divide available. I'm not going to divide anything this turn, I don't think. But I will hold up negate. Let's play the Iteration. I hope we can find untapped blue. We can't. Okay. I don't know what the opponent could possibly play next turn, which is what scares me. I really don't want to let the the negate shield's down, but at the very least I can hold up Dragon's Fire if it's a creature. Alright, I'm gonna keep the iteration, put back the Dragon's Fire, and play the pathway, and hope that that's good enough. I don't... I need to know the opponent's list. I don't know this format well enough to know what I'm really worried about here. But by my count, the most they can have next turn is 6, and they would need 7 for Coma. Yeah, okay. So Coma's coming, and we don't really have great answers for it, unfortunately. Okay. What's it gonna take to kill a Coma? We certainly need to have Divide by Zero available next turn. I also want to make sure that we're not just getting beaten down, but, like, do I want to kill the Innkeeper with this Dragon's Fire? Not really. Just untap. Epiphany's probably the way to go, eh? So let's play this on blue. I'm gonna foretell the Epiphany. And hold up Divide by Zero. Because we can't tolerate Coma. Magma Opus, if we eventually get to 8 mana, can tap down their land long enough to prevent them from casting it. So there's that. Another Innkeeper, eh? Okay. So that's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. They could still Coma. They don't. Am I supposed to cycle this Magma Opus for a treasure to guarantee I can cast the Epiphany? I don't think so, given that they haven't showed us Coma yet. I'm just gonna Dragon's Fire this Innkeeper, I think. You have a counterspell? Divide by Zero. Alrighty then. Oh, they divide by 0 their own Innkeeper, fetching Mascot Exhibition. Well, that's a good negate target. Find Shatter Skull Smashing. Let's get our iteration on. Do you have another? Okay. Let's... Do we want Chariot? Or do we want Divide by 0? I think we need Divide by 0. Chariot's good, but... we really, I think, need to get to the point in the game where we're casting Epiphanies and Opuses and just beating the crap out of them. And Divide by 0 is just better at making that happen. So play this tapped, and hold up Divide. And next turn, if it's an emergency, we can cast the Epiphany, but I would much rather not do that. We're just sort of slowly dying to this 4 power in play. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. So we're not at the point yet where they can double spell with Mascot Exhibition and Coma. Cracking the treasure for something is interesting. What could that mean? Cyclone Summoner. So that just bounces their stuff, right? Okay. I think that's fine. What do we want? Probably Mascot Exhibition? At this point, I'll just take all the powerful effects I can take, but I guess maybe Mascot Exhibition is not great when the Cyclone Summoner just kills it all. We're gonna have a interesting... it's gonna be interesting setting this up. Six mana. Could have 7. Playing Mascot Exhibition sucks in the face of the Cyclone Summoner. Playing Epiphany into Mascot Exhibition has exactly the same problem. Doesn't really get us anywhere. Let's just get this out of the way, I think. And I think I want more blue. Let's say go. Mm-hmm. Don't have anything resembling a board wipe in this deck, so it's just gonna have to be super explosive. Is that something we want to bounce? I don't think so. So I think what I really want is to have them cast their Cyclone Summoner and then Magma Opus them. Like, have them bounce all their stuff, Magma Opus, and go face, tap down their Cyclone Summoner, and try to go from there. But they just have so much life, it's really hard to imagine that working out. We have 8 mana. We want to hold 3 of it, so we could Shadow Spell Smashing for 3 to kill these 3 things. Then all of a sudden we're only taking 3. Divide by 0. Okay. I buy it. Oops. Oh, it can only be 2 targets. That's right. I always forget that about that card. I'm not sure why. That sucks. That was a misplay in that case. Still think I'm gonna kill the Innkeepers. They're an annoying source of treasure that if they keep getting bounced with the Cyclone Summoner. And I don't want to invest the mana in killing the Cultivator, because I really do want to keep the Divide by 0 available. But this seems really tough. I think we need a dragon in, like, the worst way. We can only stall for so long here. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to Epiphany here because we're gonna need to like Mascot Exhibition and hold up Divide by 0 to deal with the Cyclone Summoner. We do have Magma Opus available. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna have to happen. So let's lead with Epiphany. resolves. I don't think this matters very much. Skull smashing. We have 9 mana available. It's not enough to kill both cultivators, but it doesn't really have to be. We want to be able to cast Magma Opus on their turn. I think the plan is to block the cultivators and divide by 0 the Cyclone Summoner, or negate the Mascot Exhibition. I think we need to be patient still, as much as it sucks. I think we need to be patient. Cyclone Summoner is just a beating of a card for us. It's very, very hard for us to answer. Like, we don't have Essence Scatter. We don't have any real way to kill it, other than, like, Shadow Skull Smashing. It's Coma. That's going to be a serious problem, too. And what? We don't have Annihilation in the sideboard. Kind of wish we had that instead of the Pest Summoning to be able to deal with the Coma. But we don't. I guess another Mascot Exhibition? I don't see it. We have 11 mana. Cyclone Summoner's coming. Coma is coming. And we need to kill them quickly, and we just can't. It's probably Mascot Exhibition, hope they play Coma, and then Magma Opus on our turn. We will have... And at that point, we'll have enough mana if they tap the Coma Coil to kill Coma. But obviously, all they have to do here is play Cyclone Summoner, and we essentially just lose the game on the spot, right? But maybe they won't. Yeah, they won't even... Not having, like, sorcery speed interaction for Coma is just terrible. I think we played as patiently as we could. Like, we needed an explosive turn with Epiphany and Opus and Exhibition. Just Epiphany, 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 Epiphany to kill them, and that's just... It was never really all that realistic. It was just all we ever had. They do Coma. Okay. They foretell something too, so that's probably Epiphany. Magma Opus itself won't do enough damage to kill the Coma. There is the possibility that we can Magma Opus into Dragon's Fire. I think that's our best bet. Okay, so we'll fire everything at Coma. And if we don't draw the Dragon's Fire, we're going to lose. So we'll do that. Go face. Tap these. Put 3 at Coma, 1 at the face. Nope. Prismari Command is close, but no cigar. I think this is all runs Epiphany. We need to be able to negate that. We're also kind of just dying. I don't see a way out. I don't want to play this either. I feel like any path to victory includes this card. Okay. The problem is now they have so many coils that we're just never going to be able to fight our way through it. So we're going to need to, like, Goldspan Dragon into this Epiphany and just absolutely, like, never let them untap again. It's not impossible. We do have 2 Epiphanies left in the deck, but... And we do have ways to try to draw it with the Prismari command. Opponents doing their lethal math. They might have it. It's the Royal. They didn't kick the Into the Royal, which means they have the... Oh, they did kick the Into the Royal. This will attack. We'll be taking 9. So we have to negate this or we lose. We'll just attack for lethal. But now if they have the Epiphany, then we lose. We're dead to... Saw it coming, we're dead to Epiphany, and we know this isn't Behold. So I don't think there's any card this can be that doesn't kill us on the spot. Yeah, that does it too. Alright, I mean, that was painful. I'm not sure there was a way out of that, like, even from the very beginning of the game. I think if we had drawn the Goldspan Dragon earlier, then maybe, but we didn't find the Goldspan Dragon until we were halfway through our deck, so... What are you gonna do? 3 and 1. See if we can finish this out. Well, I know we can finish this out. Let's see if we can finish this out on a win. Okay, so we're on the draw, which is a problem. We don't know if this negate is live, which is also a problem. We do have early removal, which can keep us alive. We have the Chariot, which can stabilize us. And we just need to have some faith in the heart of the cards here, I think. I don't like mulliganing here, especially on the draw. Okay. So Dragon's Fire is going to have to come very quickly. Let's lead on the island. Oh boy. So this is 1 counter per turn no matter what. This is 1 counter per turn as long as they cast 2 spells. So we have to kill the Aspirant here. I don't think there's a reason... Yeah, there's no reason not to do this now. We don't want them to untap and have some protection spell. And if they are like a Magecrafty deck, then they do run those cards. So it's better to just do it now. But we are racing as fast as we can to that Goldspan Dragon. Looks like they're not going to double spell this turn. Not sure. Dragonfire is pretty good. Yeah. This probably wants to be on red. Play this on green. And... I think we have to do this now, because if we do it in response to a spell that they cast and then they have some instant, then we get blown out. So yeah, they can attack with the Usher and they can boast with it, but that's just a 1-1. And our Goldspan Dragon eats 1-1s for breakfast. Some question whether to hold up Negate next turn or play Seeka's Chariot. They could have... what? What non-creature spells does this deck run? They run Sky Maul. Okay. They run that. So we can kill the monk here. With that Shadow Skull. They have this Anthem effect with the Paladin class next turn, so the monk will be a 3/3. It'll be tough to deal with. But playing this means that we're not guaranteed to play the Goldspan Dragon on 5 anymore. So the question is, as always, Magic, who's the beatdown? And I think it's them. So I think that means we're supposed to just kill this now while we have the opportunity. Next turn, even if we don't get to play the Goldspan Dragon, we get to play the Chariot. So this feels like an awful play. And maybe it is. But I still think it's right. Like, maybe we're supposed to guarantee the Goldspan Dragon so that the following turn, if we draw land, we can Magma Opus, but that requires a lot of things to go well, and I think if all those things go well, we're probably fine even if we don't play the Goldspan Dragon. As long as we keep their big creatures off the board. Because, like, if their turn here is, like... Okay, well, they're not going to boast. Boasting doesn't make sense. They're not pumping the Paladin class. They've got something. Okay. So they'll take one of Chariot or Goldspan Dragon, probably. The question is which one. Probably taking the Chariot is right. They didn't have this last turn. They would have played it if they had it. So that came off the top. Which is a little tilting. I mean... Like, this is kind of a similar spot, right? Like, we can kill everything. Or we can attack with the Goldspan Dragon and then take 4, 6, 9 on the Crackback, and we take 3 for playing the Goldspan Dragon this turn. I think, again, this sucks, but I think we're supposed to kill their creatures. Like, if they need to rip either... They need to rip Snowland off the top to play the Faceless Haven, or to attack with the Faceless Haven. Looks like they didn't. I mean, they just have nothing but creatures. This is getting out of control. let's play this on blue, in case we eventually draw the Epiphany. And I'm just going to play the Goldspan Dragon, and I think it has to play defense, because if we attack and they find the Snowland, then they're attacking next turn for 4, 5, 9. At the very least, they can pump squad with Paladin class, so they're going to be attacking for 3, 6, 7. And Magma Opus is just going to do a hell of a job clearing the board later, I think. If we draw untapped land, then we can attack with the Goldspan Dragon and cast Opus. So let's just hold back the dragon. Okay, so they can power up the Haven if that's what they decide they want to do. I'm more than okay if they decide to do that. What? Oh, they pumped up the Paladin class. Sorry, for a minute I thought they activated the Faceless Haven. What do you pump here? We're never blocking this in a million years. And we need to find untapped land. If we find untapped land, then we're in pretty good shape. And we do. Alright. Okay. So, definitely attacking with Goldspan. And now the question is, when do we cast this Magma Opus, right? So if we wait for them to commit to attacks, like if they power up the Faceless Haven to attack, then we can Magma Opus, tap their stuff down, and create the 4/4 to stuff the Faceless Haven. Doesn't quite stuff the Faceless Haven, right? But we can tap the Faceless Haven. Because the Faceless Haven will be a 5/4, and they can put the counter on it. So maybe that's what we do. Maybe we wait for them to commit to putting the counter on something, and then we tap everything down. Yeah, that seems right. Okay. Oh, shh. I can't. Because it's attacks from the Paladin class. Oops. Well, now we're just dead on board. That sucks. Alright. That's a bad way to end it. 3 and 2. Probably should have stabilized there, just casting the Opus on my turn. I didn't think about the tax from the Paladin class, unfortunately. Okay. On to the next one.